In 1990, in the quiet suburb of Whitehawk on the southern coast of England, 7-year-old Rachael Watts was living a happy life with her parents, Jenny and Peter. Little did anyone know, a dark series of events would soon unfold that would shake the community to its core. Rachael's story begins one sunny afternoon when she went out roller skating, never imagining that within hours she would be fighting for her life and becoming the key to uncovering a serial predator responsible for multiple murders. The day Rachael was abducted. On that particular day, Rachael asked her father for money to buy a chocolate bar. It was around 4 p.m. when she rolled away in her white roller skates. Just over an hour later, her parents began to worry when she did not return. A knock at the door brought devastating news. Rachael had been found wandering alone by the side of the road, her clothes missing, bruised, and terrified. She was admitted to a hospital in Brighton. A couple who found her described the horrifying scene. She emerged from behind a bush, completely naked, crying, and disheveled. When asked if they were going to kidnap her, she replied in terror, "Are you going to kidnap me?" Her mother, Jenny, rushed to the hospital, but was told by police not to show emotion in front of her daughter, as it could cause Rachael to shut down. For Rachael, who was hiding the worst parts of what had happened, fear had already silenced her, facing the attacker. 3 days after the attack, Rachael was asked to identify her attacker in a police lineup. She had no idea that one of the men in front of her had already killed 2 other girls, Karen Hadaway and Nicola in 1986. This man was Russell Bishop, a familiar figure in the Brighton community who had previously been acquitted of murder charges. The murders of Karen and Nicola. On October 9, 1986, Karen Hadaway and Nicola went missing. Over 150 officers and neighbors scoured the large wooded area near their homes, but after nearly 24 hours with no sign of the girls, hope was fading. The case attracted national attention. The girls' parents appeared on television, pleading for their daughters to return. The following day, police officer Paul Smith discovered the bodies in Wild Park. Nicola was found on her back, Karen Hadaway on her stomach, arranged as though sunbathing. Both were dead. Russell Bishop, who lived nearby, had been present in the search, claiming to have been looking for the girls. His suspicious behavior and connection to the families placed him under immediate scrutiny. Evidence against Russell Bishop. Multiple sightings placed Bishop near the girls on the night they disappeared. A blue sweatshirt found near the crime scene contained fibers matching the girls' clothing and ivy spores from the location, suggesting it was worn during the murders. Though DNA science was still in its infancy in 1986, forensic analysis revealed red stains on the sweatshirt consistent with paint Bishop had used. When officers brought the sweatshirt to Bishop's girlfriend, she inadvertently confirmed it belonged to him. Despite the mounting evidence, when the trial began in 1987, Bishop's girlfriend recanted her statement, claiming she had been forced to sign it. The prosecution lost a key piece of evidence, and Bishop was acquitted under the double jeopardy law, which prevented him from being tried again for the same crime. The aftermath of the acquittal. Following the trial, Bishop openly celebrated his freedom, while the families of Karen and Nicola were left devastated. Bishop even received £15,000 from a tabloid to publish his version of the story, falsely framing Nicola's father as a suspect. The parents of the victims organized protests and petitions to reopen the case, but Bishop continued to publicly mingle with the families, further manipulating public perception. Rachael's ordeal. Less than 4 months after Bishop's acquittal, Rachael was kidnapped. While out roller skating, she became lost and asked a man for directions. Without warning, he snatched her and threw her into the trunk of his car. Rachael's quick thinking and courage helped her survive. She found a hammer and a can of WD-40 in the trunk and began hitting the lid, screaming for help. She removed her roller skates to prepare for escape and endured a terrifying ordeal in the back seat, including sexual assault. Eventually, she was abandoned in the woods, cold, disoriented, and alone, until a couple found her and brought her to safety. Police investigation and arrest. Rachael's account, though incomplete at first, provided critical details. Police quickly identified a suspect, Russell Bishop, driving a red car. Upon reaching his home, officers found evidence directly linking him to the attack, including WD-40, a hammer, and clothing fibers matching Rachael's. Bishop was arrested and Rachael identified him in a lineup. On December 13, 1990, he was convicted of kidnapping, indecent assault, and attempted murder, receiving life imprisonment for attempted murder, along with additional sentences for other charges. The fight for justice. While Rachael finally received justice, the Brighton community remained convinced Bishop was responsible for Karen and Nicola's murders. Bishop's initial acquittal under the double jeopardy law left the case unresolved. The sense of outrage and disbelief lingered for decades, fueling public demand for a retrial. Families, friends, and community members refused to let the case fade from memory, organizing petitions and awareness campaigns to keep pressure on the authorities. In 2005, the law preventing retrials for acquitted individuals was repealed. Investigators reopened the case, seeking new DNA evidence. In 2013, forensic advancements allowed investigators to recover Bishop's DNA from the girl's remains, providing the compelling evidence needed for a retrial. The breakthrough was hailed as a landmark moment in forensic science, showing that time and technology could still bring justice. Police meticulously reviewed decades-old evidence, connecting pieces that had long been overlooked, ensuring no avenue was left unexplored. Retrial and conviction. On October 16, 2018, Bishop's retrial began, more than 32 years after the original murders. New evidence included DNA linking him directly to Karen Hadaway and Nicola Fellows, as well as letters he had written in 1987, revealing predatory intent. Witnesses who remembered Bishop's suspicious behavior in 1986 were called to testify, corroborating the DNA findings and his known pattern of criminal activity. Legal experts noted the case as a rare example of delayed justice finally being served after decades of legal and procedural challenges. After deliberating less than 2 hours, the jury found Bishop guilty of the murders of the two schoolgirls. He was sentenced to an additional 36 years in prison, finally bringing justice for Karen and Nicola. The families of the victims expressed a mix of relief and grief, knowing their daughters could finally rest in peace, while the man responsible faced lifelong imprisonment. Rachael's life after trauma. Rachael has spent her life rebuilding after the trauma. She married and had children, striving to reclaim a sense of normalcy. Despite ongoing fear related to Bishop's potential release, the legal system ultimately ensured he would remain in prison. Rachael's story is one of survival, courage, and the enduring pursuit of justice. While Karen and Nicola's lives were tragically cut short, their families' persistence ensured their murders were never forgotten. Legacy and reflection. The case of Rachael, Karen, and Nicola highlights the dangers of predatory individuals, the failures and advancements of the justice system, and the resilience of survivors and families. It demonstrates the importance of forensic science, the long fight for justice, and the lasting impact of crime on communities. Rachael's bravery at just 7 years old ultimately helped bring a repeat offender to justice, serving as a testament to the courage required to confront unimaginable horrors. Her journey from a terrified child to a survivor advocating for safety and justice reflects both the human cost of crime and the enduring hope that justice can prevail even decades later. Thank you for watching this episode of He Can't Know I'm Alive. If you found Rachael's story inspiring and want to follow more true crime cases, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next story.